Sony Xperia Z1 is a brand new phone with one of the best cameras of the market and a lot of strong specs. But is it really the best smartphone on the market? Well, that's what we're going to analyze on that phone. Sony Xperia Z1 has a Full HD 5" screen and really strong competition. The built-in technology is called Sony Bravia. Sony can create great screen for TVs, and this one is one of them. With 441 pixels per inch, Sony Xperia Z1 is like Sony Xperia Z and Sony Xperia ZL, but this is not the winner. Two phones have more pixels per inch, that is HTC One and Huawei Ascend D2. Of course, you will not notice the difference. What you need to know is that the screen of Sony Xperia Z1 is one of the best on the market. Sony definitely targets the camera fans. This device has the best camera we have seen on an Android phone. The 20.7 megapixel is the best Android camera, and the difference from the competition is huge. When all other phones have a 13 megapixel camera, Sony Xperia Z1 has a 20.7 and some impressive technologies like Exmor RS, G-Lens or Bi-Ons that sound good. What you need to know is that there is Superior Auto that will help you take great photos in the day or in the dark. Today, it is the best Android camera phone ever built. Sony Xperia Z1 has a fast quad-core processor. We have seen a lot of quad-core processors on Android phones lately, and all of them are more or less extremely fast. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 quad-core processor at 2.2 GHz is better than a competitor's processor. Only Sony Xperia Z Ultra has the same processor, and Samsung Galaxy S4 has an octa-core processor in certain countries. The RAM of Sony Xperia Z1 is 2 GB, so yes, you have one of the fastest phones of the market. The battery is 3000 mAh and it's on the upper side of the competition. There are a lot of phones with bigger battery than Sony Xperia Z1, but all of them have a bigger screen than 5 inches. Huawei Ascend D2 has also a 3000 mAh battery, but Sony has a software called Stamina mode that helps you make the phone last longer. Sony Xperia Z1 comes with Android 4.2. This is not the latest Android version, and we bet it will quickly be upgraded to Android 4.3 or 4.4. Of course, it is not the only device with that version, as more and more devices come to the market. Samsung Galaxy S4 is the other 5" model with Android 4.2, and we can also find some bigger devices. You should also check the phablet category. Sony Xperia Z1 has also a lot of software features like Social Live that lets you broadcast directly via Facebook. The camera has also a lot of software gifts, and you can find some useful apps on the menu straight from the start. Sony has already launched an extremely slim device, Sony Xperia Z Ultra, but Sony Xperia Z1 is not that slim. There are a lot of premium smartphones on the market, and on the 5 inches competition you can find a slimmer one like Samsung Galaxy S4 or even Sony Xperia Z. Of course, Sony Xperia Z1 has the huge 20.7 megapixel camera that adds some width and weight. The device weighs 169 grams and you can feel it on your hand. Huawei Ascend D2, LG Optimus View and Samsung Galaxy Grand are the other 5 inches heavy competitors. Samsung Galaxy S4 is the lightest 5 inches phone, but it's not made of glass. Sony Xperia Z1 is made of glass, looks amazing, and is waterproof and dust resistant. Sony created another great device to take one of the top spots. Sony Xperia Z1 is the third best phone after Samsung Galaxy S4 and Sony Xperia Z. The fourth belongs to Sony too, and it's Sony Xperia ZL, and the fifth is HTC One. So compared to Sony Xperia Z, the newer model has better camera, better processor, better battery, but is heavier and not as slim as the competition. So if you want one of the best smartphones and the best Android camera phones right now, you definitely need to buy Sony Xperia Z1.